This is that you're going to design. So Michelle, this is year 11, and they'll be everyone's really interested in finding out about the experiences. So, okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to come in here and introduce Be Enlightened to you all. So a lot goes into starting a business. My journey started, we're going to go right back to the beginning. I, like yourself, didn't want to go to uni, so I completed Year 12 at a school a little bit like this, but we didn't have a lot of the other facilities that you have as far as business studies and things like that, which would have been fantastic. I went to Year 12, Nazareth Ladies College, Bankstown, finished Year 12. I then went on to do a private travel course and became a travel consultant, worked in sales, telemarketing, worked in doing office all-rounding, like, you know, receptionist, filing, all that sort of great stuff. Then moved on to management and became a sales rep, where I did what I loved, which was selling. Started working for myself at about the age of 26, found myself a little product that I could go out to markets and festivals and sell. And in 2005, the Be Enlightened journey began. Be Enlightened actually started out as my favourite things. I decided to compile a lot of products which I loved, being candles, flowers, vases, tea lights, beautiful scented pieces, and started selling them at Parkley markets. So does anyone know for Parkley markets? Yeah. Yep, down at Blacktown. So I started out there in a little, just a little, tiny little store, and then eventually started gaining more and more clients till I opened up a really large store at Parkley markets. At that stage, I was still running the business out of my garage at home, so I wanted to keep the overheads low. So one of the most important things in running your own business is knowing what you can afford to spend. So I ran the business from my home. I had a big double garage, no cars could fit in my garage, it was full of stock. My upstairs, one of my bedrooms was an office. And what I did at Parkley markets was I gauged the marketplace. I looked at what sold well, so I had all these different products, and I looked at what sold well, what didn't perhaps sell as well, and also too what I was most passionate about and what I really wanted to, I guess, allow my brand to become. What was the main product that I was selling that I loved the most? So I did that while I was at Parkley markets, and then I sort of found that just having that market every Saturday and Sunday wasn't enough for me. So I looked at what else I could do with my products in the marketplace in another way that I could sell, and that was Party Plan. So what I did was I created my own little brochures of Party Plan and started handing them out at the markets. And from there, got a lot of interest and started doing parties. And slowly started getting other people to do the parties for me. So we were selling the products, taking them to their home. There was an immediate audience because they would invite all their friends, and we started making extra money that way. I lasted 2 years at Parkley markets until sales dropped in the area due to a shopping centre actually being built a couple of kilometres up the road, which took a lot of our business away. So from there, I looked at what were the possibilities of what I could do from there. And what I decided to do was go out to the eastern suburbs. I felt that with my product, and at that stage I had narrowed my business down to the one product, which was the best triple scented candles you could possibly buy. So I grabbed these triple scented candles and I moved down to Fox Studio Farmers Market in the eastern suburbs, where I had decided that that was the place where the women had more disposable income and they loved to have beautiful scented candles in their home. So it made perfect sense to take my business to the place where it needed to be. So Fox Studio Markets began. At that stage, I had catered my business to suit the area that I was in, which was Parkley Market. So it was really pretty, it was chocolate and brown, and it looked great. But once I moved myself to Fox Studio Farm, that's it there, that was my first logo. Then once I moved myself to Fox Studio, I realised, I looked around and I looked at all the really exceptional brands, like Gucci, like Chanel, and less is more. They only have their letters and it's very simple. So I realised that I needed to now get rid of this fancy pink and chocolate and take the Be Enlightened brand to a much more elegant and sophisticated look and feel, so I could cater to my clients. So I did that. We don't have a photo of mine. There we go. So simple, less is more, and that became the Be Enlightened symbol that you now see on our products. And people are really starting to recognise, which is great. Okay, so besides doing the markets, I decided that I wanted to gain a lot more exposure for the Be Enlightened brand. So we went and rented a stand at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. We had our scented candles, scented diffusers, and we decided that the Easter Show was a place where people like to buy gimmicky products, you know, something fun, something a little bit different. So I found myself some little crystal pearls, which is actually the product that I started my business with when I was 26 years old. I had them at the show with these lovely little waterproof lights that you actually put them inside the crystals and the whole thing would glow. And people just went nuts over it. So that was how we started to, you know, really get out there and gain some market share. Because my philosophy in my business has always been, I don't like to pay for advertising, but I'm more than happy to spend a lot of money to go to an event where I'm going to make the money back. So it hasn't cost me anything, and I've gained advertising while I'm there. So I think that's really important. It was a very long event. It was 14 days, from morning till late at night every night. It was a big investment. I think the stand was at least $10,000 just for that short period of time. And we won the gold medal for the best stand, which was really exciting. So I've got a big plaque in my office. So we're quite proud of that to today. And again, as I said, it was the first major exposure for brand awareness for the Be Enlightened range. And to this day, people remember that brand from that moment, which was back in 2008. Again, there's our logo. Someone mentioned too, there was someone that actually wrote on the forum about what is our philosophy. Does anyone remember who that was? No? Okay. Well, this is our philosophy. So, at Be Enlightened, nothing is more memorable than a scent. We believe that fragrance is not just a luxury, but a lifestyle trend. Our customers use fragrance to add quality to their lives. Our aim, as an ambient lifestyle brand, is to deliver products that are luxurious yet affordable, which is the key, affordable. Our team of experts create fragrances that will not only fragrance a room, but your entire home. Let our scents transport you to exotic destinations while creating a sense of peace and serenity, which is what candles are all about. Enlighten your life today. So that's our philosophy. So I think it's important for every business to have a philosophy that you stand behind, which is your main goal and focus of what you're trying to achieve for people. So that's ours. Stage 3. So again, I wanted to get our brand out there, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I started doing all the private school fairs. We would get invited, we still to this day get invited to most of the private school fairs for their Christmas fairs, their spring fairs, and it's a great way to go in, sell your product for a very small overhead and a great return. Shopping centres, we started out doing Christmas and Mother's Day, and then eventually moved into doing Westfields, including Burwood, for many weeks throughout the year. We did another 3 Easter shows after that until we retired from those long 14-day drooling events. Street markets, so all your beautiful festivals that you have. 5 Dot Ferragosta's coming up soon, we have a stall there. It's not easy. I worked 7 days and nights for the first probably 4 years, day and night, but I was willing to do whatever it took because no matter what I was going to be successful. And that was the clear vision I had in my mind, and I was willing to do whatever it took. And to be honest with you, if you love what you do, it's not hard work, you actually enjoy it. At this stage, I was still running my business from home. So I was keeping my overheads really low, which was what actually gave me the basis to be able to get to where I am today, by keeping my overheads low. At this stage, I had 2 or 3 ladies helping me out doing different markets. Some weekends we'd have 4 markets going. So, I had to have help and people at different events. And of course, as you guys will all know, online is such a big thing today. So we started our online business, and I think up until today we've done about 2,000 orders online. So we haven't I haven't really marketed it a lot, but those people that do know us, that want to buy, can go online and they can purchase through the night while I'm sleeping, and you're making money, which is fantastic. This is my website. I'm a little bit embarrassed. This was built 5 years ago, so it's a very old, outdated website. I don't even have this packaging anymore. That's how busy I've been. But throughout your course, you will actually see that I'll be designing a new website, which will be coming out in about 2 weeks. So I'd like you guys to have a look at that. But of course, you've got your online store, bits of information, your party plan stuff. And again, you've got your logo, plain to see. This is us at a shopping centre at Bondi Junction, Westfield. These little stands here, they cost me about $150 in IKEA. They're those tall things that stand up, and we just put them on the side, threw some wheels under the bottom, and there you have a nice little stand for a place like, you know, Westfield. So that's our little stand there. There are candles. Does anyone know Be Enlightened? Thank you. We have one person that knows Be Enlightened. Okay, now this is the really exciting part, stage 4, where I became a wholesale business. So instead of me having to go out and sell direct to the public, I let other shops sell for me. So this is a really exciting part. But of course, to be able to become a wholesale business, everything had to change. I had to have a proper factory, a business premises. I had to have staff, warehouse manager, accounts manager, and of course casual staff to help when we were a little bit busier. We are now in 3 months in 120 shops across Australia, which is really exciting. And because we're now a wholesale company, our focus has gone from doing all the little events, which we still do some of them, but to trade fairs, which is where you go with your product and all the shops from all over Australia come and order your product. So it's a really great place. I have now become the Be Enlightened sales rep. So I now spend my days driving around, knocking on doors and telemarketing and going in and showing people my product. And I love that. I love getting out of the office and doing that. That's Sarah Jessica Parker with our Baltic Amber and Musk triple centre candle. The great thing about, that's free advertising by the way. Like I said, I don't like to pay for advertising. We have a PR company down in Melbourne that loves our products. And so every time they have the big events, all the movie stars come, they always get our candles in their rooms and at the different, when they're doing their little talks and things. So they're kind enough to send me all their information. So advertising like this that's free is so important to have to show your customers. And there's just a couple of our candles. This was my factory when I first got it. It's down at Chester Hill, which is not too far from here. That's me in there with my designer in this big empty building. This was us. I had an opening night where I invited about 1,000 people. Kathy came along. It was an opening night just to invite all our clients to come along, and we did a big special for 4 nights only. And we had probably 200-300 ladies turn up over those 2-3 nights. So it was really, really successful.
And you advertised through Facebook?
I advertised through Facebook, which is how Kathy saw me. I did. I advertised through Facebook, and then I also advertised just through our online website to all our registered users. This is that empty space now. So you've got your cute little fireplace, which we thought was a really nice touch to add into the, the candlelight, the warmth of a candle. I thought the red roses was a nice little theme that we would incorporate, that nice striking red colour. This cabinet here, my girlfriend found in a bin at the back of Harvey Norman that was blue ugly tiles, and it was nearly falling apart. So she said, I can see that's going to be great for your cabinet. So we took it back, painted it up. This is just skirting boards that we got from Bunnings to put around the edges, and now it looks brand new. So you don't have to spend a lot of money, just be willing to look around. That's me at the trade fair that we did in Sydney, our first trade fair, which was last February. So that's just a little, what we put together there.
I might show the videos, Michelle.
Yeah, sure.
So you can see building up your business and
that's my office.
Publicity.
if I was going to work somewhere all the time, I wanted it to look beautiful. So I've got that's my sick bay, I call it. My lovely little lounge, little chase. So that's my office. That's our accounts department. There's our gold medal from the Easter show.